In today's episode of MJ Everyday, I talk to you guys about how to break the binge eating cycle. We've all seen it, or we've experienced it ourselves. Binge eating leading to restrictive dieting, which then leads to binge eating, which then leads to restrictive dieting, so on and so forth. The cycle continues, and it's a very, very difficult cycle to break. So the first question that we need to address is, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? Is restrictive dieting causing binge eating, or is binge eating causing restrictive dieting? In my personal opinion, guys, I think always the root cause of binge eating is restriction. And there's two types of restriction that can cause binge eating. The first is restricting calories. The second is restricting types of foods. So if we address these one at a time, let's look at restricting calories firstly. Calorie restriction, or too much of a calorie restriction, restricting your caloric intake too hard, too fast, too rapidly, is one of the main causes of binge eating, because you're not giving your body enough calories to do what your body needs to do. Of course, when you're trying to diet and you're trying to lose body fat, you're trying to lose weight, you do have to be in caloric deficit. So you do have to consume less calories than your body requires in any given time period. That goes without saying. But you don't want to be too far in caloric deficit. You don't want to be too restrictive with your calories, where you feel the need every couple of days or once a week or whatever it is to go and smash as many calories as you can and really binge eat, and then feel shit about that binge eat, and then go and restrict calories even further for the next period of time that then leads to the next massive binge eat. So the first thing you can do if restricting calories too far is causing you to binge eat is not restrict calories so far. If you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to lose body fat, yes, you do have to remain in caloric deficit, but you may not have to be pushing your body so far in caloric deficit. Or if you're looking at both sides of the caloric deficit equation, one side of it is caloric intake, the other side is caloric output, perhaps you may look at increasing caloric output through doing more exercise, doing more cardio, so that you can keep your caloric input a little bit higher and not restrict your caloric intake so much that's going to cause you to want to binge eat. The second thing, and this is one that a lot of people struggle with, is restricting types of foods that you then go and have a craving for, that causes you to binge eat with those particular types of foods. The solution to this one is really quite easy, guys. Take those foods that you're purposely restricting in your diet and saying, I can't have those foods because they're bad foods or they're dirty foods or whatever you want to call them, that's causing you to then crave those foods and binge on those foods. Incorporate them into your daily diet. There's no problem with doing that. You can get a little bit flexible with your diet, provided you're meeting your macronutrient goals, your caloric goals. If you want to have a particular dirty food or bad food, however you kind of classify a particular type of food, daily or a couple of times a week or whatever it is as part of your diet, and having that as part of your diet is going to prevent you having cravings and prevent you then binging on that type of food. It's much better to incorporate it into your diet. You're not going to have the need to crave. You're not going to have the need to binge, and you can really break the restrictive diet and binge eating cycle that way. So those are my tips, guys. Either firstly, look at what restriction is causing you to want to binge eat. Is it a restriction in calories? Is it a restriction in the types of foods that you have in your diet? Or is it a combination of both? For a lot of people, it can be a combination of both. Find out what restriction is causing you to want to binge eat. Once you've identified what the restriction or restrictions are, remove them from your diet or make them less restrictive. So don't go so far in caloric deficit. Don't take particular bad or dirty foods and completely remove them from your diet. Try and incorporate them into your diet, and that is how you're going to break the binge eating, restrictive dieting cycle and prevent yourself from binge eating. Guys, that's a wrap for today's episode of MJ Every Day. As always, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, turn your post notifications on both on your mobile, your cell phone, and your desktop PC so you don't miss a beat when it comes to the Massive Joes YouTube channel. Until tomorrow, I'm coming to you from MassiveJoes.com. Stay massive. Thank you for tuning into this video. We hope you enjoyed watching. Don't forget to check out our latest upload and our recommended video, and be sure to subscribe to the Massive Joes YouTube channel to stay up to date with all of our latest uploads.